In this video, I will show you how to curl long wavy hair. Prep the hair with some product to minimize damage and control the freeze. This client came in with already bleached hair, so there were quite a bit of tangles. You're gonna wanna brush out all of them to make sure our client will have an experience that's as comfortable as possible and that the results will be as even as possible. After detangling her hair, I'm going to give her some root volume. We'll start off in the crest area where she needs the most volume. You can see me pushing up the roots and then giving the roots some extra volume. Every client has unique growth pattern. For this client, the main growth pattern started slightly off to the right side of her hair, and on her left side, the hair were growing towards the left. So if you look carefully, you can see me sort of guiding the root hair towards the right. By doing this, I can ensure that her roots will stand up and therefore we can achieve maximum volume. Of course, sometimes it varies depending on the client's head shape and their natural growth pattern, but as a general rule of thumb, it's good practice to give them as much volume as possible on the back. I'm not too concerned about making everything look absolutely perfect just now because eventually I will adjust volumes and details later on. So once I'm done with the bag, I will move to the side. When I'm working on the side, you can see me looking at the mirror relatively frequently because I'm trying to determine which part she needs the most volume to accommodate her head shape and her face structure. You can adjust the seat when you're working on the top of the client's hair so you can make sure you can get good angles and therefore achieve maximum volume. Here at the top of her hair, I'm actually switching to a bigger roll to smooth out some hair cuticles because as I said before, this client came in with already bleached hair and she had a couple of shorter hairs on top that were sort of broken from the damage from a bleach job. So I'm actually smoothing out the surface, so to speak. Of course, in the front, I am giving her bangs a little bit of a volume, which will help me design a beautiful fringe later on. Once I've done the basic root blow dry, I'm checking the shape to make sure all the volumes are even. Then I'm sectioning her hair and we're going to start in the nape. Then we're going to start creating some reverse waves. Reverse waves are basically waves that flow backward, which tend to look very natural, and especially around the face, it helps open up the face. You can watch a detailed tutorial video I made on how to do reverse waves. When it comes to putting in waves, usually I pay more attention to the amount of hair that I'm working with as opposed to the size of the section or anything like that, because ultimately the outcome will depend on how much hair were curled at a time. That's how I determine how to section each client's hair. Another tip that I could give you is here you can see me spending extra time around the roots, especially because this client has thinned out hair towards the ends, so the ends don't need as much heat as the root area where there tends to be more hair and hair tends to be thicker. Again, here you can see me detangling the hair panel that I'm going to be working with. Here you can notice I've actually left the very top section unstyled for now because this area determines the overall appearance. So I'm actually taking extra time to check out how much hair to start styling and what's the angle that I want to use. So I'm basically sort of thinking about the design and the degree of volume and things like that as I'm carrying on light banter with my client. Here you can see I've given her as much volume as possible in the back. I'm always paying extra attention, especially when I'm working on the sides and around the face where the client can see through the mirror. There are different angles and different techniques you can use to ensure the wave design will suit our client's face type and the overall design that they desire. For instance, here on her top side area, you can see me sort of guiding the hair panel upward as I'm putting in the waves to make sure that she has some volume on that particular area. Here you can see me using some detailed technique to guide the hair backward. I'm planning on making another video on detailed techniques using hair iron and things like that in the future, so please stay tuned for that. Hair iron techniques are so much fun because there's so many little factors you can adjust to create customized design, such as the amount of time that you use to curl the hair, the size of the tool that you're using, the level of moisture and the angle, etc, etc. Another tip that I could give you that seems obvious once you learn what it is that you're gonna wanna work from outside inward and from bottom to the top so that you don't have to go in later towards the bottom and fix any design you might have missed and things like that. So I think doing hair is a lot like building a structure. You're gonna wanna build the foundation first, and then you can add on the smaller details or the roof and things like that after you've already built the foundation and the walls, and in that order. As is the case with getting good at any other industry, hairdressing also just requires some reflective, rational thinking and practice. I'm going to give her some volume at the very top of her fringe, which will give her elongated face shape and extra volume on top. So I'm applying some heat at the base of her roots right there. And repeat the same process on the other side, and I'm going to use some product to lock in that shape. But before I use any hairspray to lock in the shape, I'm actually going to apply some fragrant hair essence on her curls so our client can have beautiful luscious waves. Then I'm using red tail comb to lay down any shorter frizzy hair on top, and then I'm using hairspray to lay down those little frizzy hairs. And here I'm giving the top of her fringe some volume using light hairspray. I'm satisfied with the volume and shape at the top of our fringe. I'm actually going in with stronger locking spray and applying some heat to make sure that shape stays in place. Now I'm switching back to lighter hold gas type hairspray for wider areas. Because watery type, stronger strength hairspray will have tendency to sort of split up the hair into smaller details, and that's not really what I want all throughout her hair. So as you can imagine, familiarity with different type of products is essential if you want to create varying and customized textures for each client. As you can see here, I'm still adjusting volume and shape. So using products on clients' hair is also a lot like building something from ground up. You're gonna wanna use the right amount at the right place and slowly start locking in the shape. And here's the final architecture.